If frost is heading your way, there are some things you should hurry out and grab from the garden before the temperatures drop. So let's show you just a few plants that you want to harvest as much as you possibly can from before frost comes. All the plants in the Solanaceae family, so the tomato family, you want to be sure you harvest from, and you could even go ahead and pull the vines down or the plants out of the garden before frost hits, because the plants will not survive. So these cherry tomatoes, as soon as I know that frost is coming overnight, I want to hustle out to the garden and take all the fruit off of this plant as possible. Even the green tomatoes can come off. I can use them for a green salsa or do something creative with them, or even just keep them inside to remind me of what the summer garden felt like. So I would want to pull this out, and generally what I've learned is to go ahead and take the whole vine out, because once it gets frost on it, it's going to turn brown, and sometimes it turns kind of soggy. It's not fun to pull out of the garden. So it's actually great to go ahead and take these vines out of the garden before frost hits. Next up in this same family are peppers. So my pepper plants here, my shishitos, I'll want to take all of the shishitos off of this plant and harvest as much as possible. Pepper plants can be overwintered indoors, and as you can see, these plants are a little bit more compact. So you can dig up these plants, put them in a pot, and attempt to keep them alive indoors. I've done it a couple years. I'm not great at keeping plants alive indoors. I need the help of nature. But if you want to test it out, you could overwinter your peppers. It is a thing. Eggplant, you'll also want to harvest from and take out of the garden. Eggplants are not going to survive frost in most situations. Sometimes they're a little bit hardier. Most of the times they're not. The herbs may make it through your first frost, things like your oregano and rosemary. They can generally hang on for a couple of frosts. When it gets heavy snow, they won't be there anymore, but don't take them out right away. Next, your kales, they're going to do fine with frost, so you can let them be. Your celery, it may survive the frost, but it may get some damage as well. So if you have celery, this was just harvested, so it's very young right now, but it's a good idea to go ahead and harvest before the frost hits. Zinnias, I'm sad to say, will not make it through the frost. You can leave them there, or you can go ahead and remove them before the frost hits. Bigger peppers, same thing as eggplants and tomatoes. You can cut them back and overwinter them, or you can just go ahead, harvest from the plants, and then call it a day and pull them from the garden. Your Swiss chard, your kale, parsleys, those should all make it through the frost, believe it or not, which is pretty awesome. All right, we do have some nasturtium here. Nasturtium actually hates frost. It's so sad because it likes cooler weather. You can see how mine's kind of burning up right now. It's because the weather's been too hot here and I haven't watered sufficiently. But nasturtium will usually die and be killed off on the first frost. Peppers we've already touched on. Carrots are great. They actually don't mind a little bit of frost, and survey says they get a little bit sweeter when frost comes too. So carrots can stay in the garden. Again, your kales can stay as well. And let's see what else we should pull. If you have bean plants, so bush beans or pole beans, I have a few bush beans back here. Those bush beans are not going to make it through the frost, so you can go ahead and harvest from them. I have these bush beans right here. So I would try to pull as many beans off of these plants as possible, and probably go ahead and take the plant out of the garden before frost comes. Any cucumber plants, any squash or zucchini, also not going to survive frost. So I have these zucchinis back here. They've already kind of slowed down their production, and they do have some powdery mildew. But you can see they have a few little zucchinis coming here in the center. So I'd try to get as much out of these plants as possible. But these plants I would definitely take out of the garden before frost comes, because they, like previous years when I've left them, they are super gross when they're all wet and brown from the frost. Again, I have more peppers that won't make it, and then I have a purple bean plant that also would not. This one's kind of wild. I actually don't know how this happened, but I would want to harvest these beans from the vine and take this bean vine out of the garden before frost comes. So there you have it. Some plants will make it and some plants won't. And that's okay, because like I like to say, every time something comes out of your life, it makes room for the next thing. What's the other thing people say? When one door closes, another one opens. So as all these things can't survive through frost, the good news is there are other plants that can come into the garden and take their place that absolutely adore, well, I don't know if they adore, but they tolerate frost and they can push on into the cooler season. So now you are ready to prepare your garden for frost if and when it's coming your way. And if you don't have a kitchen garden set up yet, the good news is, like I showed you, there's so many plants that do survive frost that you can still set them up even when frost is on its way. Most people wait to set up their garden after frost is over in spring. But honestly, when you wait that long, you miss some of the best parts of the early spring gardening. So if you're heading toward frost, right now is not a bad time to set up your garden. You'll get a good season in the garden before deep winter comes, and then you'll be primed and ready to grow before frost ends in the spring. If you want to learn more about setting up your own kitchen garden, we are signing up students now to the Kitchen Garden Academy. So you can find out how to learn all the steps to set up your own kitchen garden at the link below this video. All right, here's to surviving frost and cold that's coming our way by gardening more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.